Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel here at Crypto Nation. If you're new here, it's totally free. Subscribe and hit the like button for post notifications. But anyways, let's get right onto it. This is going to be this is the Altcoin Daily. See what they're talking about on this episode. The title is called "The Real Reason Bitcoin is About to Hit 70K." The bull run is here. It's upon us. September is almost over, and the bull run is right on our doorsteps. So we definitely got to get ready to make these parabolic gains. Anyways, let's get right onto it.
At October, so it's almost the 16th anniversary, 16th birthday of Bitcoin.
Right.
And it's an innovation.
Bitcoin is on a moon mission right now. $70,000 Bitcoin can happen sooner rather than later. Tell a friend. It's crazy to me how so many people are missing out on everything going on. Donald Trump recently made history. First Bitcoin transaction by a president.
The first transaction by a president on the Bitcoin protocol. History.
They just made the first transaction in Bitcoin.
Days later, he would double down on his original pay off the U.S. debt with a little Bitcoin. You remember this.
Who knows, maybe we'll pay off our $35 trillion, hand him a little crypto check, right? We'll hand him a little Bitcoin and wipe out our $35 trillion.
But how do you...
Well, days ago, he said it again. He said, I think crypto has got a great future. Maybe we pay off the $35 trillion with Bitcoin.
I'm curious what you think the future of crypto looks like if, God forbid, you don't win the election.
Future of crypto? What does it look like? Well, I think it's a good future. Who knows about anything today? But I think it's a good future. I tell you what, you look at values, you look at what's happening and where it's come and where it came from. I think crypto's got a great future. I think it really does. Maybe we'll pay off the $35 trillion in crypto. I'll write out a little piece of paper, 35 trillion crypto. We have no debt, right? That's what I like, right? He likes that idea too, he's laughing.
Vice President Kamala Harris recently shocked the United States, coming out as pro-crypto. This is a total 180 from what Biden and Kamala used to say. She goes, we will remain dominant in AI, quantum computing, blockchain, and other emerging technologies.
So I will recommit the nation to global leadership in the sectors that will define the next century. We will invest in biomanufacturing and aerospace, remain dominant in AI and quantum computing, blockchain, and other emerging technologies.
And Mark Cuban is in fact working closely with the Harris administration, often in TV appearances, saying that Kamala is evolving and becoming pro-crypto and pro-business, as he is closely advising her.
One of the things that really resonates with young men, and I have a 15-year-old son, is crypto. And she talks specifically about encouraging blockchain innovation and that was important to her and that she was going to be supportive of it. That's really important to young men. And I think as that message starts to get out more and more, it'll start to resonate with young men even more.
So now we have two candidates who are pro-crypto in their own different ways. And I was actually surprised what job Mark Cuban said that he would want in a Kamala Harris presidential administration. If Mark Cuban did this job, that would be a breath of fresh air.
Could I ask you, Mark, whether you would entertain being a Treasury Secretary, Commerce Secretary in a Harris administration?
Head of the SEC. Head of the SEC. That's the job I would take.
Mark Cuban would be so much better than Gary Gensler.
So is your argument that you're doing this to make crypto stronger?
We're again merit neutral. Crypto is only a small part of our capital markets. I mean, it's a little less than 1% of the world capital markets, but it's basically to instill trust and protect investors. Look at the leading lights in this field, in the crypto field, just 2 years ago. A number of them are in jail right now, and I'm not just talking about SBF. I mean, a number of others. Yeah. And there's been tens of billions of dollars of losses and bankruptcies and so forth.
Where do you think Bitcoin is going to be in our society 20 years from now? If you were to sort of,
I don't really know.
You have any idea?
I don't know. I mean, there's 7 billion people around the globe. I'm not going to make a prediction as to any one project, but what I would say is the field is going to have a challenge building trust.
Right.
And it already has a challenge building trust when there's so many fraudsters, scammers, grifters in the field, and there are.
But what happens if, for example, former President Trump is talking about whether we should have effectively a Bitcoin a reserve fund, a sovereign Bitcoin fund?
Gary Gensler, he's never going to have anything positive to say about the crypto community. He only look at the negative. Of course, there's been some hiccups with, with fraudsters and stuff like that, like Sam Bankman-Fried and bad apples, bad actors in the community. But he only talked about that part. But they're slowly but surely getting rid of the bad people, in crypto, like people like that dude, what's his name, Dao Quan or something like that, the guy from Terra Luna, whatever. But anyways, the community is slowly but surely getting rid of the bad apples. Some of those guys already went to jail. But anyways, other than that, as far as the technology is concerned and Bitcoin, it just, in the crypto community, he's never really going to have nothing positive to say. But anyways, that's that.
Would you be in favor of something like that?
Again, I'm going to
take the policy out of it, take the politics out of it. I'm just asking, if someone in Congress came to you and said, "Hey, Gary, we're thinking of creating a sovereign wealth fund in Bitcoin," would you say that's a good idea? That's a bad idea?
I would say I'm going to stick to the role I'm in. It's a great role overseeing as chair of an agency.
But you're a very smart guy who knows a lot about this space. You've taught about this space. I imagine you have a view. Is it that you don't feel like you can share the view? Or it's that you don't have I don't believe you don't have a view.
No, I have a view. I have a view.
And you're just saying it's the role, given your role, you think you're not supposed to say.
I think given my role, and also we're in election season. So I just think, for the listening public, I will stick to, my chalk lines. And my chalk lines are securities markets, and Chairman Powell and others at the Federal Reserve could speak to that. But yes, I do have a view on that.
And of course, maybe the biggest reason Bitcoin and crypto is projected to keep going up, the Fed rate cuts. As Pomp says here, Bitcoin is projected to be a big winner in all of this.
I want to start just where we are in crypto land and what you think is really happening here. Obviously, there's been a big move that happened after the Fed lowered interest rates effectively, or cut the rate by 50 basis points. How much of this is now built in to the rest of the year? Meaning we know that the cuts are likely to continue. Therefore, is 64,000 or 63,000, it's going to just stay level, or it keeps going up, goes down? What do you see?
Well, I think, if we look at that Fed interest rate cut, Bitcoin is the best performing asset so far. Gold and oil futures are kind of second. There's a new study that just came out from Lynn Alden and Sam Galligan that said Bitcoin is the most sensitive asset when it comes to global liquidity. And so 83% of the time, Bitcoin moves with global liquidity. It's more than S&P or any other asset. And so if you look at not just the interest rate cuts, now M2 money supply is expanding, and also we have cuts going on in China and elsewhere. And so I think that Bitcoin ends up being a big winner whenever we get kind of cheap money flooding into the system. And it feels like we just went through this big regime change, right? We were tightening, everyone was trying to kind of drain liquidity from the system. Now we're going to go the other way. And so Bitcoin should be a big winner here.
And understand, these Fed rate cuts will keep going throughout 2025, maybe even 2026. You saw our interview with analyst Virtual Bacon. This is the way you need to think about it. This makes me incredibly bullish. What's your outlook?
We are seeing the next 9 FOMC meetings having at least 9 rate cuts. And we're potentially seeing 1 double cut somewhere next year. So the rate cut cycles, once they start, they keep going. They don't just randomly revert, and it goes kind of one direction only.
What is your Bitcoin price prediction for 2025?
I guess I'll start with the prediction. I have always held this kind of relatively average number of around 200K for my personal portfolio. That wraps just around to 4 to 5 trillion-ish for Bitcoin market cap, total market cap just under 10 trillion. And I think that's fair. I think for sure we will reach 100K as long as things line up, and as long as S&P recovers nicely. 100K is a very easy number at this point. The question is when do we reach that? So far, it looks like the rate cut cycle will at least last till Q4 2025. And even with all the projections that they have made, the Fed has already released their targets by the end of 2025 for rates, and they need so many FOMCs to get there. The only question is, will they keep cutting rates in 2026? And that kind of we don't know. So I think the bull run will at least last until end of 2025. That's why I'm taking it one step at a time. If we see, I want to give myself kind of conservative on both sides as well, time versus price. So if we see Bitcoin reaching 200K in 2025, I think that I'm happy with that. I'll start to take large portions off the table. But if we don't see that and we are kind of Q3-ish 2025, then we'll have to look at the drawing board again and figure out if liquidity injection is going to continue into 2026, then we maybe wait a bit longer. So there's a time horizon and there's a price horizon both.
But you think 200K is possible in 2025 or near 2026?
Yeah, I'm optimistic. I think that's my average expected return.
So let me tell you how it's going to happen. We're going to see some volatility around this resistance. But once Bitcoin reclaims $70,000, not even all-time highs, just $70,000, this will be the beginning of this launch pad that we've been forming to take us from 70 to $100,000. And then after Bitcoin hits $100,000, all bets are off. Then it's a question of how high do we really go in this Bitcoin cycle? Is it just 125? Is it 200,000 like Virtual Bacon thinks? Or where do we go? Let me know your thoughts below. Of course, my name is Aaron at Alt.
Yeah, me personally, man, I think that Bitcoin once we hit eventually once it hits 100K, man, the sky's going to be the limit. Nobody knows where it's going to go at that point. With all the institutions and everything buying in and everything. But that's just my opinion on that one.
Bitcoin Daily, subscribe to our channel, join our team. We keep you updated on a daily basis. If you're interested in making money in crypto, subscribe. We post one video.
Alrighty, but that's concludes that episode of Crypto Nation Reacts. So we got Bitcoin is back over 65,000, so that's looking pretty good. Ethereum is at 2,644. But anyways, thanks everybody for tuning in. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the like button for our post notifications. And also, if you'd like to support the channel, get the channel membership just between $3 to $5 a month. And yeah, support the channel. I'm going to have my updated portfolio over there as well and drop some private content exclusively to the channel members. But anyways, thanks everybody for tuning in. I'm going to get out of here. See you guys in the next one. Peace.